working on some meal prep. I'm gonna boil some chicken. I highly recommend buying at least a 5 or 10 pound bag. I'm just gonna add the frozen pieces to the water. This is super quick, super easy. I can shred it up and throw it in the fridge to either cook at a later time, or I'll probably do something with it later today and show you guys how I make my chicken salad. I also make buffalo chicken, shredded buffalo chicken. I can throw it in a lettuce wrap or throw it in like a whole wheat wrap. It's a great thing to have on hand, especially those days that you come home and you're either tired and don't feel like cooking, or you have to grab something quick and run out the door. It's already made, it's already in the fridge. So it's 1 o'clock and this is what I'm doing. Here's Nick shredding the chicken. He's very helpful in meal prepping when I ask him to be. So this is obviously after you boil the chicken. This is step 2 to get it all shred down and get ready to be weighed.
And I have to be if I want to eat.
Okay, so for the chicken salad, first of all, any recipe that you make, you're going to want to buy a food scale. It's not accurate to measure things out using measuring cups, especially when you get into larger or leafy vegetables and fruits and things like that. It's just, I highly, highly recommend you get a food scale. They're not that expensive. This one's really nice. I think it was $20 at Bed Bath & Beyond. So anyway, we've got our shredded chicken. We need some prep containers. I like to use green pepper. A lot of people don't like it. I like the flavor and the crunch, but you can also use celery and then some red onion. I use no sugar added sweet gherkins in place of relish. A lot of people use relish in theirs, but it just adds a nice sweetness to it. And then I do the Hellmann's low fat. Now, depending on how many macros you have left for the day, you can also use the full fat regular if you have a lot of fats that you've got to cram in, or on the opposite end of that scale, you can use Greek yogurt fat-free if you don't have any fats. This Hellmann's only has 1 gram of fat per 1 tablespoon. You could mix these two together. I try not to use the Greek yogurt as much as possible because, to be honest with you, it just doesn't give it as much of a flavor. It doesn't give you as much of that creamy mayonnaise-y flavor, so I try and go with the Hellmann's. So personally, my recipe, and again, you can use whatever measurements you want depending on what your macros are, but I do 2.5 ounces of chicken. So I just take my shredded chicken, get it to the ounces, make a mess everywhere, and it gets mad because I waste half the chicken. He just spent 2 hours shredding. Okay. 2.5. And then I do 2 tablespoons of the mayonnaise. And again, I don't use a measuring spoon. 1 tablespoon is 15 grams. So I will set this back to grams and I'll just double it to 30 grams. It's a lot more accurate, and then you're also not stuck cleaning a tablespoon, trying to get mayonnaise out of your tablespoon. Okay, 32, take a little out. Perfect, 30 grams. I also like to add in just a little bit of the gherkin juice. It helps keep it moist in the fridge. And then I will also add, and again, it's all depending on taste, and you can substitute other things if you don't like gherkins, but I'll cut up half of a gherkin for each one. And add that to my salad too. And then I do 15 grams of the green pepper, or celery if you prefer celery. And I do only 6 grams of the red onion, because onions are a little bit carbier. Oh, that sticks perfectly. What's up with that, cameraman? You cut up all my green pepper, but you didn't cut up the onion. You can also add salt and pepper to taste. If you're in prep, you probably shouldn't be using a lot of salt. I can't live without salt. It's gonna make you hold water, it's gonna make you bloat, but I just can't eat food without it. So I use seasoning salt. And I'll add a little bit of that in on top. You can throw in some paprika too. And then give everything a nice little stir. Pop a lid on it, pop it in the fridge, and you're good to go. Now, cooked chicken will keep in the refrigerator. I've read a lot of different things, 4 to 5 days. I would not recommend keeping it any longer than 5 days. So like if you're meal prepping on a Sunday, I would probably eat it by Friday. So you don't want to go crazy and make, 12 containers of this stuff and then not be able to eat it. So now I'll just keep going, fill up all my containers, and we've got lunch for the week. Thanks for watching.